Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who all in this truth from who do well. Peace and salutations to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. And to you I say shalom. Coming to you back with another lesson through the Spirit. And I'm entitled this one, People Are Ready to Crash Out. People are ready to crash out because they've been duped into believing that if they put all their time, energy, and effort into the system, into believing into the American dream, especially these Americans, these Babylonians, because you do have people around the world that are having uproars because of their government, because they've been lied to, that the government had the best interest of the people, that if you voted and elected the proper politician in the office, then things will get better. But now that the American people and people around the world are starting to realize that all these politicians don't have the best interest of the people, these people are ready to crash out, especially these self-proclaimed white people, which are the Edomites. They've been lied to from their own government. Donald Trump talking about he's going to make America great again, but he's only doing the complete opposite. So how are people feeling right now? People are feeling that squeeze. People are ready to crash out, especially these Edomites that are finding out that the small hats, the tiny caps, the 48ers, those that you can't speak openly about, now they're starting to find out that they hoarded the blessing all to themselves. The elite bank families, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, while here you have homeless Edomites in their own kingdom, letting you know that first and foremost, the self-proclaimed white man Esau Edom isn't fit to rule, and that his kingdom is falling, it's collapsing, and it's about to be taken out the way by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So this is Matthew 24 and verse 12, and it reads, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." And that's what's happening. That word cold going into psycho, people are turning more into a psychotic state of being, ready to crash out, especially after 2020. People isolating themselves, people taking that juice, the jump shot, the snake venom. So people have all these juices, all these VAXs. They're on drugs, alcohol. They're stressed, sleep deprived. So these people are a bad mixture of all these things that could lead to somebody just losing their mind, crashing out. So what's the only thing that's holding all these people, these spirits, these demons on these people, is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But once the Lord lets that veil, he lets that wall that these people have in their mind from just them leading to just crashing out and just deleting a large amount of people, the Lord's about to let these people crash out because they still have their food, their bread and circus, water, their jobs. Once Esau Edom takes all that away, especially the food and the water, the bread and circus, these people are going to lose their minds to a whole nother level. And like the scripture says, if they're doing these things in the green tree, if people are offing themselves, offing their family members because they lost their job, their stock market portfolio tanked, their sports team lost the finals, how are these people going to react when they don't know when their next food is going to come? When they don't know when their next meal is going to come from? They're going to utterly lose their mind. And what is that going to lead to? Civil war, riots, all hell breaking loose. People going from house to house looking for food for the lack of bread and water. This is Luke chapter 12 and verse 49. It says, "I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will it be if it already be kindled. So everybody ignorantly calls Christ, which his real name is Yahweh Shai in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, which means he delivers. He's not coming back to give out hugs and lollipops and, oh man, yeah, he's gonna appear and crack the clouds and boom, everything's gonna be okay. World War III is gonna be over. You know, he's gonna tell everybody, oh man, let's just join hands and Esau, Edom, you don't have to give up your kingdom. No, Yahweh Shai is coming back to bring great judgment upon the planet Earth. First and foremost, to judge the troops, the soldiers over there in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, like the Lord said, I'm gonna gather you up in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, and there I will melt you, put that fire upon you. That's what's gonna happen to the soldiers over there during World War III. They're gonna fight Yahweh Shai. But also, what else is he coming back to do? He's coming back to put the spirit on Esau, Edom, to click that button, to put those nuclear codes inside that device so those nukes can be shot off. So all that Christianity doctrine that Christ is coming back to unite humanity and tell everybody he's going to be okay. No. Yahweh Bashmel Shai is coming back to bring the wicked, the Edomites, the 2/3 of our people, and put them down, put them to death. It says, verse 51, Luke 12 and 51, suppose ye that I ain't come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. Verse 52, for from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. Verse 53, the father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And that's what's happening, especially after the 2020 ordeal. You had all these people being divided because you're not wearing a mask, you're not wearing a face shield, you ain't take the juice, you ain't take the VAX. And that's the time we're coming into. People are going to be bugging out. Oh man, you ain't take the RFID micro CHIP, which is the mark of the beast. That's coming back again, but at a whole nother level, to the point where those who don't take the MOTB, they're going to be looked down upon the world. They're going to be looked down upon. Oh man, you don't want people who are blind to be able to see again. Oh man, you don't want paralyzed people from the neck on down to walk again. This is the talking points that Esau, Edom is going to use for his mass implementation of the MOTB. He's going to use those smooth words. This is Isaiah 19 and verse 2. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And this is going into the civil war that is knocking at the door. You just had that movie Civil War come out a couple years back. These are all predictive programming that Esau, Edom is using to push it amongst the people with his psyops, his enchantments. And what does he have been conditioning the people to be divided amongst themselves? That's why he created a whole Republican versus Democrat. Like in the book of Revelation says, he spake as a lamb. He used that, oh man, vote for me and I'm going to give you a tax break. I'm going to increase your salary and your wages. But what has Esau, Edom done? He has completely done the opposite of helping out the people. He has only helped himself. So what are these Americans, these Babylonians, these people around the world ready to do? They're ready to take it out on their governments. Some countries are already taking down their governments. So that's eventually going to come here down to Babylon the Great. You already have that division against Esau. You got his commanders and generals, that he fired because they weren't with the agenda of his administration, which pretty much consisted of, hey, okay, y'all not gonna like this, but y'all gonna have to delete y'all own citizens. And that's why those generals that they walked away from Trump because some were with it and some weren't. And that's where that civil war is going to come in. You're going to have those who are for the Constitution, who are for the U.S., and then you're going to have those who are for the for Israel, for the tiny caps, the small hats, the 48ers, for Trump, for Netanyahu. And then you're going to have it at the smaller scale. You're going to have a race war. You're going to have all these different wars. Blacks versus whites, Edomite versus Ishmael versus Moab, so on and so forth. Because these people, they're so divided amongst themselves that the only thing that's holding them back from offing each other is this veil of reality. This normal going to work 9 to 5, going to restaurants, vacations, going to school. That's all about to be done away with very soon. This is Sirach, 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those who fear the Lord. And who are the ones that fear Yahweh Bashem El Shai? The Israelites. That's ultimately who these Edomites, these cerebral-clan white people have enmity against. It's the sons of Yahweh Bashem El Shai, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And really, this is who all these heathen nations, first and foremost, the Edomites, which are the cerebral-clan white people, they're ready to do a number on our people, to put a large amount of our people to death. And that's what's about to happen to the wicked. 2/3 of our people, those who aren't going to be covered by Yahweh Bashem El Shai, they're going to be put to death by Esau, Edom, and all these different heathen nations. And even by, it's going to be our own people putting our own people to death. It says, verse 71, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Just like in that movie, The First Purge. What were those mercenaries doing? They were going into the Jake neighborhoods, the Jake apartments, and just deleting, putting to death everybody inside each unit. And that's what's coming down the pipe. That's why you have all these different redlining, these different zones that our people have been put in. Close to the highways, close to the train tracks. Because once Esau Edom implements that martial law, it's wraps. It's gonna get ugly out here. It says, verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out their houses. And we already seen a glimpse of that a couple months ago with ICE. That was just a test run, because you see how these people reacted. They were bugging out, they were crashing out. Eventually, they're not going to arrest nobody. They're just going to shoot on sight. But this is the times we're coming into. This is Sirach chapter 12 and 8. It says, a friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. And all these people that are buddy, these neighbors. Hey, howdy, neighbor. I brought you a piece of a barbecue. The grilled chicken we grilled up yesterday. I brought you some freshly baked cookies my wife just baked. Here you go. Glad you moved in. No, that's all about to be out of the door. Because these people, they don't really like each other. These people at the jobs, it's fake smiling with each other. People at the grocery store, it's all an act. And like the Joker said in the movie The Dark Knight, these people are all just putting on an act. Because when the lights go out, when there's no food, when there's no water, people are really going to show their true colors. People are really going to show who they truly are. And the 2/3, the wicked of our people, they're going to be through as hell out here. But the elect, the remnant, those who are ultimately standing stiffly for the testimony of Yahweh Bashem El Shai, they're going to be covered. They're going to have that covering. But the rest of these people in the world out here, they're going to crash out. They're going to bug out. They're going to lose their mind because they don't have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Bashem El Shai. That was only imparted unto the elect so they could be stable. But the rest of these people out here, they're already losing their mind, but they're really about to lose their marbles. But that's pretty much the point. I pray that this was edifying unto the elect. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are learning this truth from